And we are live. Okay. We'll wait for a few people to join in here, but we've got a packed house here on the team side. Let's see. Most people might be away on holidays already, so we'll see what kind of audience we get, but just gonna check the connections here, make sure we're yep, we're on live on X and live on YouTube. There we go.
How's your holiday season been so far?
Holiday's been good. It's a little bit different for me. I'm still getting used to holidays without snow, like Christmas season without snow. Grew up in Canada, so it's a little bit different for me. But I like it. I'm not a big fan of winter. How about you guys?
Hills on the beaches, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather have sand hills than snowball hills.
Fair enough.
That's what you get for.
What's that?
I was gonna say that's what you get for having too much snow.
Yeah.
I actually miss snow.
Oh. Yeah. You say that until you live 8 months in it, and then it's you never want to go back. 8 months a year.
A few weeks of snow are fine for me. More than that, not really.
All right, we got some people joining in here. So welcome to the special live stream that we're going to be doing here for the holidays. We're going to go through just a quick agenda here. We're going to go through a quick wrap up of everything that we've kind of accomplished this year in 2025. We're going to go through some things that we're excited about for 2026. We've had a big year in 2025. We've got a even bigger year coming in 2026. We're all very excited about it. So we're going to talk a bit about that. And then we're going to go into some wider kind of crypto predictions that we see for 2026, because 2026 is lining up to be a pretty exciting year for crypto. But yeah, we'll get into that. So yeah, let's get into the wrap up here. So yeah, we put out this tweet on Friday. We accomplished a lot in 2025. I mean, I joined the team close to halfway through the year, but I was already in as an early investor and very much paying attention to Superseed. So I followed along a lot of this journey, but maybe we can get a little bit more insights from the rest of the team here. Yeah, it was an exciting year. We built a foundation and that's kind of set us up for a very big year in 2026. So lots to go through. One of the first things we did was raise our community round, just to kind of set the stage that we are a very community focused, community oriented project. We're building everything from community roots, and this was like a big piece of that. Was raising this early seed round from the community, and this is quite a bit different than a lot of other projects. I said when I was an early investor before I even joined the team here that this was one of the things that really attracted me to Superseed, was that just taking these kind of bold steps forward. Now you kind of see with Coinbase and Monad and all these different projects that are going live with ICOs. That this trend is coming back, and everyone's going back to these community roots and these seed events. But like we were one of the first to do it, and before this trend kind of restarted. So I thought that was pretty cool. Anybody have anything to touch on there?
Yeah, I mean it was courageous, so to speak. Nobody was doing that back in the day. Everybody was following a different path. We were probably one of the first major projects to actually go this path, and yeah, it wasn't easy. Like we had to create our own infra to do the raise and everything, but yeah, I think we're happy with the path we have chosen. Of course, there were trade-offs to doing that, but I think long term, it will still be seen as the right choice.
I agree, and it really speaks to our kind of mission and our vision that like David has kind of spearheaded in that, like, hey, we want to take these bold steps forward. We want to have our roots in the community and be a community kind of owned and run project in the end. So yeah, it really speaks to that mission and that vision. And speaking to kind of those trade-offs also, I think it's very important to touch on, like, hey, like we went this route, like no VCs, a lot of other projects that, like, they give these early opportunities to VCs, and then you wait 3, 4, 5, 6 years before the community really gets a chance to even like own some of these projects. So I think it's pretty bold that we allow the community to get in at these early stages. Of course, the markets are the markets, and 2025 hasn't been the best year for the macro or the crypto markets. But I think when things come back around, like, these are going to be seen as like very good moves. So yeah, I think that was pretty cool. And you spoke a little bit with Cointelegraph earlier in the year also about this, how our roots are with the community, and we care deeply about community ownership and all of that. So anyone that wants to go back and kind of check that out, that was a very cool conversation with Cointelegraph and David. It just kind of talks about our mission and the vision also. And a little bit later in the year, we launched the Superseed L2 chain. So this went live on mainnet back in March. That was a big event, super cool video. Go back and check that out. It's part of the tweet thread. I thought that was an awesome launch video. But yeah, like, that was a big integral part of our feature also. It's not like the core piece. The core piece that we're working towards is, of course, the Super CDP, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But like, the L2 is a big piece also. It allows us to scale different things that we're doing with the DeFi ecosystem, and gives us different opportunities. But yeah, that was a big piece of the pie also. If anyone has any extra points on the L2 chain.
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of things to say about the L2 chain. First of all, it's just for anybody else out there, if you're interested, it's way more complex than it seems. Even if you're not running your own infrastructure, it's a lot. There's a lot of complexity there, even with the updates. But I think we've learned a lot about that, and I think we can leverage that in the future for our L2 is going to be very valuable once we start having well-established protocol on mainnet. So yeah, we've learned a lot. I think I have some thoughts about what are our future developments from what we learned from this experience, but maybe we'll leave that for.
Yeah, we'll get into that outlook there. No, I think you're right. Yeah, and like Chris talks a lot about this in previous super chats that we've done. Like, the L2 just becomes one of these big revenue sources where we can use like these sequencer fees to help, like, in the future redirect back to users. However we do that, like through self-repaying loans and all of that. So I think it's a big piece of the pie, but it's not the whole pie. We'll talk a little bit more about what the future entails when it all comes back to the Super CDP. Yeah, any other points there, or else we'll move on to the next one?
Yeah, what I would add here is that was just the first step for Superseed. Right? That was the first product that we brought to life, but it's an incomplete step, right? It's not what we are all about. It's just part of multiple steps that gets us to our goal. And I think given our we can see it as basically underdog, right? We were a bit of an underdog here. I think we've done pretty well compared to the competition, but of course we don't want to stay there. We want to get to actually where the final vision of Superseed is, which is like getting to the part where you can have self-repaying loans by using your tokens as collateral. I think that's what people are excited about. That's what I'm excited about, and yeah, I'm pleased that we have gone through this phase as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, it's like one of our first product launches, but and it kind of just shows our execution, what we can accomplish. We developed like a very good partnership with Optimism team, launching on the super chain, and as you can see here, RouteScan, they put together some nice kind of 2025 like stats around just our L2 chain. Pretty cool to see, like over 16 million transactions have gone through the chain already, and we haven't even like done too much with it yet. Average daily active addresses over almost 2,000 there, with a peak of 7,000, and cumulative unique addresses over 43,000. Super cool to see. So yeah, we did a lot with L2 chain. There's a lot more to come as we kind of tie it all back together, which we'll get into a little bit more. Yeah, but like Nick said, it's going to be a very valuable piece of the ecosystem as we move forward. And then a little bit later in May, the super token went live. So we did our big TGE, and the super token, if anyone doesn't already know, is the core token at the center of the DeFi ecosystem that we're building out. So it's gonna be the token that powers everything. So in the Superseed economy. So that was a big day for us on Cinco de Mayo, as you can say. Yeah, it was a pretty cool launch. Another very cool launch video that went a little bit viral. So yeah, that was awesome. And there's going to be a lot more that kind of goes into the super token. We have a lot more things coming around that. There's not too much we can share yet. I don't know, maybe David wants to hint at something, but we've got some pretty cool things that we're looking at doing in 2026 around the token also. Anything you want to share there?
Yeah, some big changes are happening when it comes to the token. Those are also related to our upcoming products, but I think those are very meaningful changes, and I am one of the things that I am most excited about the year to come is the things that we are shipping in terms of product, but also around how we integrate the token inside the product. I'm not gonna share too many details right now about the token part. We have shared a lot about the roadmap, but yeah, definitely the super token will be part of making the supermarket successful and the strategies and so forth. So yeah,
needless to say, yeah. Yeah, it's not fully baked, and there's some cool stuff coming in 2026. So stay tuned, because there's a lot more surprises also. So yeah, and then some other cool moments that we had in 2025 here. When I joined the team, we did a little bit of a community restructuring. We introduced a brand new role called the citizen role. We haven't been able to do too much with that yet, but in the new year here, as we start to roll out some of our core products, it's going to be a lot more exciting, as we want to incentivize a lot more usage of these new core products, and the citizen role is going to play a lot into that, where there's going to be different perks and stuff to go along with that, and power users are going to get a chance at becoming these ambassadors and getting different perks. So stay tuned for that. We've got like a few updates around that also, but if you check out our article we did around becoming a Superseed ambassador, there's a way that anyone can get involved with the community. Start out, there's 4 different levels to move up in the community, and we're going to be keeping an eye on people that are active in the community and getting involved and sharing things about the ecosystem. And there's different ways to become a citizen ambassador, so you're going to want to keep an eye on that for 2026 also. We had another kind of semi-viral moment when we gave away a Tesla. That was pretty cool also. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was Farming Legend was the winner there, right? He was super happy about yeah. Anybody have any anything
The
to share there?
USB-C value of a Tesla Model 3. Yeah,
to be clear.
that was actually very successful in terms of reach compared to a lot of other moments that we had. Like I think that was we definitely got a lot of eyeballs on Superseed with that particular contest. Yeah, it was also fun. We got a bunch of really cool games on Superseed. Like I think the community really liked that when that happened. So yeah, we'll see
cool.
next year if anything like that. I mean, it has to be something else for sure, but more such community initiatives, I think, will make sense for there to come, especially around the supermarket launch. And we'll think about something cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna want to get the community a lot more involved once we have these core products out, like we kind of talked about, and we're going to shape some of these incentives into the ambassador program. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. A lot of people contributed a lot of very cool games, and it again speaks to kind of our mission and vision and how David and the Superseed team here has been very ahead of the curve. Like this was vibe coding before vibe coding was even cool. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see a lot of people who had no coding experience come up with some pretty cool stuff. And shout out Farming Legend for coming up with a really cool game and winning that prize. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we had like 50 games or 49 games, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you think about all the effort put in by the people and all the views and plays and so forth, it was quite something.
Yeah, it was very cool. We had some moments across X, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, and a lot more moments ahead. Like with our Seeds program, also got a little bit of virality. We had a lot of active users participating in that. That was cool to see. So our Seeds program, for those that aren't aware, was just our season 1 of distributing some more super tokens to the wider community, because we do want to distribute as many super tokens as we can to as many wallets, unique wallets as possible, and make this a very community, like widely distributed and decentralized project. And the only way to do that is by distributing these tokens. So season 1 of Seeds was our first way of doing that, but there's going to be a lot more incentives coming up. Nothing that we can really speak to yet, I don't think. But another part of how we were distributing some rewards, we came up with another pretty cool thing, which was the seedlings, which were a unique NFT that everybody that participated in the Seeds program got one of these, and it was an NFT that actually grew on chain through your on chain actions. I would definitely recommend going to check out that video. It's very cool. It got a lot of shares, a lot of retweets. Went pretty viral also. I think it had like 500,000 views or something, somewhere around that. It was pretty cool. But yeah, they were pretty cool, and there may be some more ways we can integrate those in the future. Yeah, anyone have anything to say about the Seeds program? Maybe Nick, from the technical standpoint, I think you guys did a really good job of kind of implementing that Seeds program and doing it all in-house there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I mean, I think so too, actually. I mean, we've had like a couple of tries with different architectures relying on third parties. You guys all know the stories. And eventually, building that in-house was the right decision. Technically wise, I think this is one of the coolest projects I've ever done, actually. Maybe bar some IoT stuff I've done in the past. Because, well, I mean, you guys didn't see that, but in our cloud provider platform, because I don't want to actually say what that is, you would see like all of the APIs that responded to streaming of data. So we had like real-time data. It already had like retries. I can geek out about this a lot, but I think that was enough said. It was really cool from that perspective, just having real-time data, real-time processing. It's astonishing to me that this ecosystem, after more than 10 years, isn't really there on the data side. Anyways, yeah, we've built a great product there. I think in the future we'll be able to reuse that. It's really good tech. We just need to keep it updated, I guess. But
Absolutely.
yeah. And anything else if you guys want to discuss?
Yeah,
sure.
we also, I think we learned a lot of things there, both from a technical perspective, which were very valuable. I think in terms of incentives, we definitely have to do a better job at pointing those incentives in the future when we run future such programs. But yeah, in generally speaking, we built infrastructure and we've done it way cheaper than many of the people we talked to, because there are many external providers that can do what we did. But yeah, I think doing it in-house eventually proved to be the better choice. And now we have that infra for future programs that we might want to do, and they don't necessarily all have to do with points. They can be about something else. But yeah, we now have what we need for next rounds.
Yeah,
and I have to say, oh, sorry, Nick, go ahead if you have something to add.
Just one thing to add, actually. We should all remember this is like a very small team on the technical side, and we did prove operational discipline on that one. That's all I wanted to say. Actually, it's really hard actually to do that.
See, I agree. That's the point I was going to make, is people don't see everything that goes into some of these products that we put out and build, and it's a lot of hard work in the back end, especially when we're doing everything in house. People just don't see all the complexity that we strip away and make it super seamless and easy for the end user. I thought that was a pretty good example of that, and if that's a preview of what's to come with the new supermarket app, then I think people are going to be super excited, and it's going to be very exciting and seamless and fun to use also. So yeah, exciting times ahead. And then, yeah, just to kind of wrap up our year, we put out a big blog, which I encourage everyone to go check out. This roadmap to the Superseed EP. This was a big one, also got a lot of shares, 235,000 views on it, which is amazing. So yeah, a lot of people keeping an eye on what's coming ahead. Definitely recommend go read up on this one, because it's going to give you a big insight into what's happening in 2026, which kind of leads to the next thing I want to talk about is, what everyone is excited about for 2026. I mean, I can kind of kick things off. Again, go check out this blog because it'll detail it for you very nice. But phase one, just to give everyone a quick rundown, phase one's the supermarket that's going to be launching very soon on Ethereum. And this is going to be a new style money market that is tailor-made or purpose-built for stablecoins, at least to begin with. And so that's going to be very cool to see. There's going to be a lot of things that we can do with that. And a lot of advantages that we're going to have because it is tailor-made for the whole stablecoin market. So, and then phase two is going to be when we introduce our own Super USD token. That's going to be, I would have to say that this is one of the things that I'm most excited about for 2026. Once we introduce the Super USD token, it's going to enable a lot of different on-chain yield strategies and different things that we can do with incentives and our own token model, and it's gonna be very exciting to see. So, and then all this is going to lead up to eventually the phase 4, which is our final form, the Superseed EP. When everything kind of gets tied together, we can start also utilizing our layer 2 chain to optimize a lot of this, and start introducing these self-repaying loans, which are going to be incredibly unique in the DeFi space. So yeah, I'm excited about everything, but I think once we get to this phase 2, it's going to be very, very cool how it all ties together with the supermarket and the different strategies and earning opportunities that it enables. So what's everyone else looking forward to in 2026?
Well, actually, I'm really excited about phase 1 as well. I think it started this year, but I think next year will be a very big year for stable coins. A lot of new stable coins have appeared in recent months, and they all want to grow. They all want to be integrated. They all want to provide basically utility to their holders, and we want to be there. We want to be the primary money market serving stable coins and yield-bearing stable coins. And to me, this is the fastest way for Superseed to generate a lot of revenue that we can, of course, then funnel into back into our protocol, into growth. And yeah, there is, because we were talking about a few minutes ago about the super token. There is an intermediate phase between phase 1 and phase 2 that has to do not so much with the products, but with the token. And I'm also really, really excited about that, which, I mean, it is a very, very welcoming change for the token. I think a lot of us will be excited about that part. So yeah, I actually am very, very eager to see our money market, so the supermarket live, and the intermediate phase between phase 1 and phase 2. Of course, phase 2, when phase 2 launches, Superseed is at a whole different level than it is right now. But I'm actually very, very eager to see the supermarket live. It is, I mean, it is already live on testnet, but yeah, live on mainnet. That's what we all want to see.
So you're hearing it here first. There's going to be basically a phase 1.5 also. I know that we can't share too much about it, but I am super excited about that also. It's going to be some big token changes, which hopefully we can share more soon. And it's going to tie everything together very nice. And I mean, I'm not going to say anything that David didn't already say, but it's going to be very exciting to see. And it's going to be a well-received update to the super token. So yeah, a lot to look forward to. The supermarket's going to be big. Yeah. How about you, Chris? What you looking forward to in 2026?
So much to choose from. I think the thing I'm most excited about is to actually start seeing some of these revenues start to build up and come in from different sources, and then play with a calculator and see the projections and see, okay, if this much revenue is coming in, I can actually borrow this much more, and this is how much I'm going to be repaid. Now I can afford to leverage this amount, and then I get to think about all the things I'm going to buy using these stable coins. So yeah, I mean, just starting to see the Superseed economy kind of play out, and actually being able to borrow against my super tokens as an investor is going to be really exciting. And I think that's really going to be the big moment for when people really wake up to what is being built here, right? And they can see it in practice. They can see it happening live. It's going to be very, very interesting for people in the space, I think.
Yeah, that's a Great thing you brought up, and another cool feature that we're working on in the back end is creating one of these calculators where people are going to see, okay, you're seeing all this revenue come in and into the Superseed economy right now, and you're going to be able to play around with this calculator and be like, okay, I have this many super tokens. Because there's this much revenue, I'm going to be able to like leverage my super tokens, maybe take out this much super USD as a loan, and then the loan is going to repay itself back after maybe 6 months or 1 year or whatever it is based on the revenue that's coming in, and that's just all going to be happening before your eyes. And like Chris said, you can start thinking about, okay, maybe I want to buy a new car, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. Here's how many super tokens I need in order to basically get that for free with these self-repaying loans. And then just a prerequisite all of this, none of what we're saying is like an actual forecast or anything like that. These are all just kind of estimates and our personal opinions about things. Nothing's financial advice. Very important to say that up front.
By the way, Byron, I see the ad credits there. What sort of currency is that?
Yeah, for some reason my computer thinks I'm in Mexico. I'm not in Mexico. I believe that's the Mexican peso.
Wow, you're really rich, man.
We don't have $18,000 in credits. It's I don't know. I think that's the Mexican peso. I'm not sure why my computer thinks I'm in Mexico, but that's what that is.
Probably VPN, right?
Could be VPN.
That amounts to like $1,000, by the way. So pretty good.
Your turn, Nick. How about you? What are you excited about for 2026?
Yeah, I mean, aside from the product things, I mean, on the product side, I would say the stablecoin is the most important for me, or the most exciting for me, because gives us that opportunity to do like the strategies. I love strategies. It's yeah, but I mean to go a bit off register, right? Because I don't want to sound like very monotonous. I think on the more nitty-gritty side, I'm more excited about improving our processes, because I have like very low patience, unfortunately. I would like to, but I'm also very OCD like when it comes to like the quality and security of it. So we started improving our processes a lot recently. We had some team changes as well, which improved our throughput, let's say. But yeah, I think this will be the most the thing that I most look forward to, which is like speed in delivery with the same amount of quality. There were some sites that were better, others weren't. But yeah, that's my final answer. But on the product side, yeah, I think the strategies.
That's exactly what we all want to hear from our big brain tech lead. So yeah, it's awesome that you're thinking about these things, and we have someone on the team that is doing these things. So awesome to hear.
Nick, are you going to share your strategies and dilute yourself for the sake of us plebs?
My strategies, I'm not really a strategy. I love creating like the contracts for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a past project. I worked with Protofire to do like ERC 4626, I believe, strategies. Really interesting stuff, I would say. And I mean, for us, I think the most important thing we need to look at like a year ahead is gonna be risk management and all of that stuff. Risk management is really, really important if we want to go into volatile yield strategies, volatile asset yield strategies. But yeah, maybe I'm too.
I definitely agree. There are so many moving parts, but yeah, well, we take it one step at a time. We're not just gonna throw everything at once. That's a bit of a recipe for disaster, but like taking it one step at a time, starting with stable coins, and he'll bring stable coins and strategies around that, and then eventually allowing volatile assets as well is, I think, the way to go. And I also want to thank the team for this year and what everyone has done for all the work. Really appreciate that. I think we definitely found our rhythm towards the end of this year. When it comes to building stuff, it always takes some time for a team to find that rhythm, and I think we have it now. I think for us, 2026 will be a year of shipping and shipping and shipping, and products and products and products and products that people really want to use. And yeah, I'm very confident that will translate into revenue that we can then use to grow the protocol, which is for me very, very exciting. And yeah, I cannot wait to have some of those products in the marketplace.
Completely agree. Well said. And yeah, 2026, in my opinion, is going to be our biggest year yet, and it's going to be very exciting to see like the Superseed ecosystem, as Chris said, like all come together, and these revenue sources start to show themselves, and people can start calculating these things. It's going to be a fun year. It's going to be very exciting, and it's when the rubber hits the road, I guess you could say. So yeah, fun times ahead, and which is a perfect transition into taking this a little bit wider, and let's talk about a little bit some of our predictions for the wider crypto space for 2026. Who wants to kick that off? Does anyone have one bold prediction they want to make for 2026?
I mean, let me pick. I have a lot of bold predictions. I love making like the non-orthodox predictions here, but maybe yeah, I shouldn't be necessarily the first one to start on this. I think David or the others are way better.
I mean, I'm happy to kick things off here. First shout out Jack for reposting the stream here. Let's get more of those out there. But yeah, no, thanks for everyone tuning in, by the way. Yeah, so I'll go with my first bold prediction. I have a couple. We've kind of started to see a little bit of this, but I think that DeFi really starts to take over the TradFi space, and because of this, I think that TradFi is actually going to fight back a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of hostile takeover of DeFi protocol by maybe the TradFi space. We've seen a little bit of drama already around Aave. I don't want to say anything bad about Aave. I think they put out a very good product, and there's a lot of value that like Aave Labs brings. So I'm not going to get into that whole debate. But we have seen like a little bit of people talking about like a little bit of potentially like a hostile takeover of Aave, and I think the probabilities of that happening with DeFi protocol in the space is increasing, and I think this is why we need to build these immutable kind of like tokenomics designs and V token models where like they can't be changed, they can't be taken over. I think this is super important that we reduce central control in the products that we're building. I think most would agree with that, but that's one prediction that I'm making for 2026.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much fighting will be going on, but definitely TradFi is coming hard into crypto. My prediction for 2026, I mean, I have multiple ones, but one important prediction is that it will be the year of stablecoins. I think we've not seen even 5% of the energy that's going to be placed into stable coins. it will be large. We have multiple new issuers coming with their stable coins, and they will devote a lot of funding and a lot of basically resources towards growing their own stable coins. I think TradFi and FinTech are a bit behind the crypto native players, and they want to catch up, and they want to catch up fast. And unless they really invest a lot, they're not going to catch up. And these are players that don't want to necessarily be on the losing side. And I think, yeah, we'll see many surprises in the stablecoin front. We'll see a lot of growth for new stablecoins. And yeah, I mean, us as Superseed, we want to be there. We want to help various projects, and yeah, offer great services to those users, and in a way benefit as well from that growth. Like it usually is the best way to grow yourself is to be in a market that is growing rather than one that is shrinking. And I think this is what we're seeing with stablecoins. They are just growing and growing, and I think next year things will accelerate.
Absolutely.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, I think I think that one's going to hit for sure. Just to put some numbers behind that, I think the total stablecoin market in crypto right now is around 300 billion, if I'm not mistaken. And the total addressable market for just stablecoins, as far as like fiat goes, is like measured in the hundreds of trillions. So there's still a huge way to go. We're just a small piece of the pie right now. And yeah, I completely agree that industry, that segment's going to really take off. And I think we are aligning ourselves perfectly in 2026 here with the launch of the supermarket to eat up a big piece of that pie and be a part of that growth. So yeah, that's super exciting. I'm very excited for that also. Who else got a bold prediction to make for 2026? I know Chris got a smile on his face. Nick's got a smile. Let's see.
Maybe Chris, if you want to go ahead.
Sure, I'll take it away.
Otherwise-
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned this on some previous episodes before, but I think AI applications to every part of the industry is going to explode in the next year. If not next year, at least next 2 years. I think we're already seeing it on the branding / data analysis side a lot. We've seen it this year, and I think that's only going to continue. I think it's going to become a necessary tool if you want to be competitive at all in the industry. In terms of things like interface tools, I think there's a lot of different like parts of AI applications that were really hyped last year in the winter, and there's the big like DeFi movement that happened for a while, and you know all these AI DeFi tools got really huge valuations and kind of died down a little bit, but I think the people who are still working on that are still really early to something that's going to be very, very, very pivotal for the space. And as models improve for everything, just in the general tech space, we're just going to see every single part of whether it's distribution, whether it's advertising, whether it's, you know, go to market, whether it's even technical design of, you know, potentially even smart contracts. I think we're all going to start to see it change a lot within the next year. And, you know, people say that every year, but I don't know, you're starting to see like the exponential curve start to tighten up a little bit, and it's starting to become very hard to keep up. So
yeah, most technology goes through this S curve, and yeah, I think you're right. I think we're hitting the big exponential part of the S curve here, and that was kind of my part 2 prediction. Was that I think that AI and crypto are going to become interchangeable, or sorry, like connected in everyone's mind, and people are going to realize that they are interconnected, and you can't really scale AI without crypto rails. And a big piece of that is stable coins, and I think that a lot of TradFi is realizing that. that like all AI agents, everything AI related is going to use crypto, is going to use stable coins for payments. It's all going to be on crypto rails. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of this like rush to get into this space, get into the stablecoin market, because these are becoming intermingled technologies.
Definitely, yeah. I follow the AI space quite a bit, and everything is moving towards agents that do stuff online. The easiest way for them to pay for stuff is via stablecoins. No permission required, right? Yeah, it's like when a river flows, it flows. It follows the path of least resistance, and I think for agents, the path of least resistance when it comes to financial transactions is using a crypto wallet, is using stable coins, rather than, I don't know, having to create legislation so that they can have their own bank account and whatever. That's not going to happen next year.
Absolutely. And I would even take it a step further and say this is why DeFi is going to win, because I don't think that TradFi can compete. We talked about it on previous episodes also, but I just think TradFi just has too much capital expenditure, too much of these, too much bureaucracy, too much all of that stuff in the middle. If like you're already seeing like some of these bigger TradFi companies get into the stablecoin space, and they're saying like, oh, we're only going to charge 1% fees on stablecoin deposits and withdrawals. Wow, 1% is a lot of money when a DeFi protocol who doesn't have all that capital expenditure, all that those middleman expenses, trying to extract fees, and you can do it for much cheaper on chain. So yeah, I think this is another reason why DeFi wins.
To be fair, credit card issuers take more than 1%. So if you're like a store or whatever and you accept credit cards, it's going to be more than 1% going to the credit card company. So 1%. It's better. An improvement.
It's an improvement, but I don't think it's anywhere close to where it's going to end up with DeFi protocols. Yeah. How about you, Nick? Where's your head at? What are you thinking for 2026?
Well, I mean, if I would like to say, if I can say, is that I think I'm better on predicting not the next year, but long term or longer term trends, right? So, but
let's go for it.
What I'm more excited about, actually, not necessarily predictions. I would say like polymarket stuff, related stuff like prediction markets for next year, stablecoins for sure. I mean, these all, at least the stablecoin discussion is way longer than this, but maybe we will have some time after we pass through some of these structural points. But what I would say, and I'm more excited about this, is RWAs, because this will unlock some of that. For example, you have stocks on chain, right? So recently I've been to a TradFi convention just to see that world in action, and it's pretty complex, I would say. It's all dependent on, for example, the price feeds. You'll see that you don't have access to price feeds that, like us, like in crypto, you'd see that larger institutions that actually aggregate most of those orders are going to and execute at that level. They will be more entitled to send out the price feed, right? And that's just one thing. So I would say RWAs are going to be able to change that. So we could move basically all trading that happens, even high frequency trading with some chains like the newer chains. And that's actually what happens most of the time in TradFi. We'll be able to see a shift towards blockchain. So, and that's a lot of capital, right? If you look at companies like LMAX, they have like billions per day in volume, right? They undersign, and not to mention the larger banks like Goldman and the others, right? So I would say that would be like a larger macro trend. It's not gonna, mature in 1 year for sure. But we're already seeing that like on the real estate market. You can see that there are a few companies that start doing that. Hopefully, it will all start, going to that direction. And I'm happy about that because TradFi is like very heavily regulated. We know, what's in there, a lot of red tape, and a lot of that is also, regulatory capture. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but for sure it is, right? So that's one trend.
Absolutely.
Regarding AI agents, there's something. I mean, I would like to add something to that, right? I've investigated this a bit recently. Trying to use like already set up trading bots that are running on AI. Most of these are on LLMs, and it's a pity, right? LLMs are not optimized for that. So yeah, that's my side project, by the way. It's like not side project, but it's what I'm trying to use, Claude and whatever AI agents to have a POC around that, around training actually deep neural nets for for trading, because they're like way more optimized for this kind of stuff. It's all in the feature engineering side of it. So basically embedding, features in the market with an AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, just to kind of wrap that up, I completely agree about the RWA topic. I think that's huge. I think like huge companies like BlackRock tend to agree with you and are showing signs that everything is going to be tokenized, everything is going to be coming on chain. So yeah, that's super exciting to see. And then on the AI side, I've seen like different people in the AI space kind of talking about it on podcasts. Also, I think that's the next step is moving from these like generalized LLMs into highly specialized different like
Totally
AIs.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the trend actually, because right now we've seen like a plateau in profitability, and that's mostly because it's not very efficient. I mean, efficiency is going to be improved for sure. You can always optimize on some things, but like the orders of magnitude that we need for the actual functionality that we need are going to come from these types of specializations, I think, plus some hardware optimizations as well.
Absolutely. Anyone else have anything else there? Other than that, I think we're getting close to wrapping this up. But any last comments?
I mean, not much more on that front. I do agree. Real world assets are important. I see stablecoins as part of real world assets in a way, or like they are the first step for TradFi to enter crypto with assets, not just to trade, but like to issue assets on chain. I think if it works for stable coins, it probably works for other types of tokenized real world assets. So we're there for that as well. In terms of, I don't know, other than that, I guess I've covered quite a bit of points today, but yeah, as last thoughts, it was. I actually can't believe it was just 1 year. A lot happened this year, good and bad. I think we're ending it on a very positive note in our team. We're very excited about what's coming, and yeah, thank you all for basically being part of us, part of our journey and part of the journey of Superseed. And I'm really, really excited about 2026. I think it's gonna be a breakout year for our protocol, and yeah.
Completely agree. I encourage everyone once again to go check out our latest article here on X. It's also on paragraph.com. If you go paragraph.com/@superseedxyz, we have our blog there. But yeah, definitely check this out. It'll give you a little bit of preview into what's happening in 2026, and there's a lot more to come. There's some stuff that we haven't really showcased yet or talked about. So yeah, very exciting times ahead. Thanks to David, thanks to Chris, thanks to Nick, everyone for coming on. Thanks to the whole team. There's a lot more behind the scenes that are working hard, building the products that we're going to be rolling out. So yeah, no, thanks to David's leadership here, keeping us all in line, and yeah, exciting times ahead. Yeah, thanks for everyone for joining.
Thank you for the invitation and good chat.
Thank you.
I think it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Enjoy the holidays, enjoy the festivals, and
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Cheers.
See you all in the new year. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.